6.
Yeah.
You need some volunteer hours and come out here. We can get you on camera.
See, do that. Do that. Actually, so no, that's my district.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, all of us. Main stuff.
And it's 10 o'clock, so we'll call the administrative meeting to order. I welcome everybody for being here today. We are short of one commissioner, but he will be back with us on Monday. Commissioner Harry cannot be in attendance today, but he will be back, and I expect, I haven't heard from anybody else in the Senate. Just as a reminder, we do have a public hearing for the proposed subdivision regulations. That will be at 9:30. Regular meeting is scheduled to start at 10. Well, I guess we'll have to start at 10, but if we're not done talking, we may have to go into session and then sort of delay it or whatever. I'll talk to press about the specifics. We've had to do that before. Okay. Anybody got anything they need to get out there today? Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Oh,
If I can get my microphone to come on. Just to put this out there. Sometimes the good Lord put us in places that we never think would be in. And this morning, Chairman Shoup was put in a situation that he probably did not realize he was going to be in this morning when he woke up. On his way in this morning, there was a gentleman that had a real serious vehicle crash due to later assessment of being a medical issues. And Chairman Shoup did not hesitate. He stopped, jumped out of his truck, jumped down in approximately an 8-foot ditch with a vehicle that was upside down to help render aid to this gentleman that he did not have any idea who he was or even if he would have met this morning. Mm-hmm. So I just want to thank you. And also there was another gentleman in the ditch this morning when I jumped down with y'all. I did not get his name, but I do believe he does work for the Houston County school system that drives a school bus for Wicksburg.
Oh, really?
So I've seen the gentleman around. I know he lives out in that community where this crash happened this morning. But thank you again to you and also to that gentleman for each one of us has some level of being a first responder. And we never know until we get put in that situation. And this morning, y'all were that gentleman's first responders before law enforcement or medical got there to him.
Well, I appreciate that. I mean, I think any of us would have done that, and I certainly hope the gentleman's okay.
Mike's not on.
Yeah, I was just saying, I think anybody in this room would have done that, and I certainly hope the gentleman's okay. I haven't gotten an update, and probably won't, but I hope it's all right. But all right.
That's what all heroes say.
Yeah, I don't think I'm a hero. I didn't feel like a hero. I couldn't get the window busted out.
Okay.
This is a lesson learned for me and probably for everybody else. So
absolutely,
I couldn't get the window busted. This guy gave me his knife, and I'm trying to bust this thing out. And it wasn't busted out. Dang. And so we're looking for something to knock this window out. So another guy, third gentleman, shows up. He goes down there and opens up the darn door. and so anyway, I was talking to my personal trainer this morning. He used to be a fireman, and he said, "Try before you cry."
Yeah.
And he said, "Don't try to do it the hard way until you try to do it the easy way first." So I'm hoping there won't be a next time, but if there is a next time, I'll remember that. Try before you cry. So,
absolutely.
Anyway,
Oh my God, I told that.
Yeah, thank you. Well, you know, that's real life. You know, that's just real life stuff. So, but I appreciate everybody that stopped. All right, moving on to the regular agenda, proposed regular agenda, we have an item number 1 is a request to adopt resolution authorizing participation in the ACCA liability self-insurance fund. I'm assuming that's supposed to be 4 calendar years, 2027 to 2029. Okay. I know this we do this every so often. Anything you want to add to that?
It's just, it allows us to participate in the ACCA's self-insured. They also do audits, and this allows us to get any type of credits by joining with them and the other accountants. So it's more beneficial to us to go at than going out and trying to shop our own.
Any questions? No. Any objection to placing that item on the agenda?
No objection.
Item number 2 is a request to approve budget amendment in the amount of $370,000 to disperse Wiregrass Electric loan proceeds for the utility improvements project at the industrial park. So, Ms. Stacy, I'll let you talk about this in just a second, but so you remember we received some funds from Wiregrass Electric in the form of a loan. I can't remember the exact amount.
333,000, and then the county had to put 37,000 with it.
That was our match.
Making it 370,000 for these improvements.
Correct. Thank you. So we did the budget amendment to receive money. So now we have to do the budget amendment to spend the money.
To
So,
spend the money and be able to give the money to the industrial development board or whoever needs it for that project, because the expense side is not in the budget.
So it was 333 from them?
It was 333 from Wiregrass Electric,
Mhm.
and then we did the 1% loan. And then the
Gotcha.
county had to put 37,000 with it, which made it an even 370,000. So we got that. So it really was not an impact to our budget, other than we've got to spend the money that they gave us.
Gotcha.
So this is what this amendment is for.
so
Gotcha.
20% of this
Right.
is coming out of our general fund.
Right.
Gotcha.
And 80% is coming out of the loan proceeds that we received from Wiregrass Electric.
Gotcha.
Any other questions,
No, sir.
comments? Any objection to placing this item on the agenda?
No checks.
Item number 3 is a request to approve budget amendment in the amount of $52,173.91 for opioid settlement grant from the state of Alabama. Is Major Rafferty here? James, do you want to talk about this, or you know about this?
Yes.
So, they applied for an opioid settlement grant of $52,000 to be used for some, inmate things down at the jail. This is the portion that is coming in from the 52,000. They'll turn around and spend it on the, allowable expenses, but it has to come to the commission. And this was something we didn't know when we did the budget, so we have to do a budget amendment to receive that money in. The
Gotcha.
expense portion's already there. This is just the revenue portion coming in to take care of the expenses that they're going to spend.
Yeah, and this was something that was done through the Sheriff's Association.
Okay.
So pretty much all the 67 counties was eligible to receive a certain amount
Gotcha.
from this.
All right, any questions, comments on this item? Any objection to placing this item on the agenda?
No objection.
No objection.
Item number 4 is a request to approve acceptance of right-of-way for property owners along D. Clark Road. So y'all gentlemen will remember, I guess it's been over a year now, we vacated our interest in that road because all of the property owners on that road asked us to do that because there was a developer that had promised to pave the road and do some other stuff, and that is looking like it's not going to happen. And so now they're asking us to take this right of way back. The town of Taylor has passed a resolution. You know, we can vacate our interest in the right of way, but we can't vacate a town's interest in their right of way of that road. So they passed a resolution essentially stating that they had never vacated their interest in the road, and they were not going to. They were keeping their right of way. So they've sort of, formally said that, hey, this is still our right of way. And so what we're doing is the part that is outside, along the property owners that are along that road that's outside the town of Taylor, they have all signed a petition to ask us to take over that right of way. We had prescriptive right of way, but now we're getting, what is it called?
We're gonna be getting actual right of way now. Before it was just prescriptive right of way, which is what we maintained on the dirt road. And now this will be actual right of way that will actually be belong to Houston County, I guess you could call
Yeah.
it. So it will no longer belong to the property owners.
Gotcha. And then they signed that, they're aware of that. So this will come back to us. And so basically, long story made short, everything goes back to the way it was, and we will maintain that. When they have issues with the driveway pipes or issues with the road, we'll be able to correct it. Technically, right now, it's still private property. We can't, obviously, as you gentlemen know, we can't do work on private property. So this will allow us to do work on that road again. Any questions?
No, sir.
Any objection to placing this item on the agenda?
No objection.
Item number 5 is a request to approve final plat for Flowers Plantation subdivision. This is a subdivision intersection of 123 and Judge Logue Road, so that would be the community of Vicksburg. Any questions for the engineer that is here today? Or for the acting county engineer?
It meets all the Houston County's subdivision regulations, so we have no complaints on our end.
All right, it is. Any objection to placing this item on the agenda?
No objection.
Excuse me. Item number 6 is a request to approve resolution for MPO project for the resurfacing of Headland Avenue from Westgate Parkway to US 431. Any objection to using federal funds to resurface Headland Avenue?
No,
No,
thanks. No judge.
All right. Add that to the
Anywhere.
agenda. Item number 7 is a request to approve resolution for MPO project for the resurfacing of Fortner Street from Alabama 605 to Honeysuckle Road. Any objection to placing that one on the agenda?
No objection.
Item number 8 is a request to approve resolution for MPO project for the resurfacing of Bethlehem Road from Alabama 605 to the Dale County line. Any objection to placing that one on the agenda?
No objection, but I do have a statement.
Yes, absolutely. Go ahead, Commissioner.
With all three of these roads being heavily traveled roads, do we have a timeline of when these will be, the projects will be getting started on these?
Not at the moment. Those projects are still gonna be a good ways out. I wouldn't say, it would be anytime in the near future, but no, before we start work, there'll sure be a timeline gathered to kind of let the public know when this work is gonna be taking place so that they can make arrangements, if they need to kind of bypass that work area. But it's still a good ways out, I would say. Sure.
Probably next year, if you had to guess. I don't remember seeing any of these on this year's plan.
I did not.
I would say it'll be next year.
Yeah, I think this is kind of a long process. We have to do this. I think we'll have to approve another resolution before we actually resurface the project. So, all right, I don't know if I asked any objection, no objection. I think we established that, so
Yes,
I'll
sir.
add that to the agenda. Anything else to be considered for the agenda for Monday? Members of the commission?
No, sir.
Okay. And remember, we do have a public hearing for subdivision regulations at 9:30 a.m. So remember that. There being no further business to conduct today, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn. Thank y'all.